tapped the box. I don't think I reached down precisely. Brianna lowered her phone and stared at me. Davis? I flinched. Exactly, she said. Davis was my age, 31, with what he described as a flourishing IT career. Right. I came to learn that was code for playing video games all day. He lived in the basement apartment of a 3-family house in Queens, which seemed promising, until I was leaving for work one morning and met his landlord, aka his mom, taking out the trash. So that was 2 months of my life that I'd never get back. The guy wasn't even that good in bed. According to this, Bree paused and waved her phone at me, statistically, women settle in relationships while men aim high. Why? Is that a rhetorical question? Because I seriously do not have an answer for you, I said. Yes, of course it is. Bree tossed her phone onto my desk in disgust. The real question is, what are we going to do about it? Bree stared at me, and I sensed that this time she expected input. Aim higher? Yes! She pointed at me with both index fingers. Exactly that. We have to go for men who are successful, smart, confident, kind. You know, our very own Prince Charmings. Yeah, no. I had once believed in happily ever afters and Prince Charmings, thanks to a steady diet of Disney princess propaganda my older sisters had barraged me with as a kid, but that belief was dusted and done in first grade. I had arrived at school for our Halloween party, wearing my much-loved hand-me-down pink satin dress and matching plastic tiara, hoping my crush Brandon Kincaid, the most popular boy in our class, would finally notice me. Well, he noticed all right. In the middle of recess, as I was strolling amid the Batmans, Catwomans, Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Power Rangers, Brandon was dressed as the Red Power Ranger, he stopped my royal promenade by grabbing my arm. In my fairy tale deluded brain, I thought Brandon was going to declare his love for me and kiss me. Nope. Look, Molly thinks she's a princess, Brandon cried with all the mocking venom a 6-year-old can muster. Then he leaned close and took a big sniff. Nah, she still smells like manure. She must be a cow princess. Moo! In a matter of seconds, he had the entire class laughing and mooing at me. I wanted to die. The mooing followed me as I ran all the way into the girls' bathroom, where I had a pitiful crying jag that lasted until my teacher found me and delivered me to the school nurse, who sent me home. Brandon was the only child of affluent dentists, while I was the middle of 7 children of a dairy farmer and a high school teacher. We lived on completely different socioeconomic planets, and it was my first lesson in elitism and privilege. From that moment on, I despised the whole royal peasant love angle. It was simply too far-fetched, and one of the many reasons I'd given up on fairy tales and happily ever afters. As for Bree's proposition, I had absolutely no idea how aiming high might work when I couldn't even meet a decent guy in a city full of single men, never mind a prince. Plus, I really, really, really just wanted to get back to the book in the box on my desk. Sounds like a plan, I said. I used my best wrap-it-up voice, but sadly she didn't budge from her seat. Ugh. That's what we need, isn't it? Bree asked as if I'd said something inspired. A plan. Sure, I nodded. And since you're in the education department and I'm in charge of the objects, why don't you come up with a PowerPoint to illustrate exactly how we're going to do that? Molly Graham, are you trying to get rid of me? Bree's eyes narrowed. My face grew warm. No. What's in the box? She asked. Her look of affection conveyed that she understood I was dying to get back to my project. A first edition of Sense and Sensibility for the new Austin exhibit, I said. I gently raised the top of the box. Inside was the first volume of 3. The smell of old paper greeted me like the perfume of a dear friend. I glanced up at Bree and grinned. It came all the way from Whitmore Estate in England. Isn't it beautiful? Brianna circled the desk to stand beside me. Gorgeous. I lifted the book.